It's the Real Talk with BRG. And yes, Ria Abdul, I'm live here again. Very much excited to have a very beautiful conversation. You know how we do it? We always bring you the best of the guests. We bring you change makers, people that are doing really well in their fields. We bring them here and we have those beautiful conversations. But I do not always do this alone. I have Elizabeth Steve. You're welcome. Okay, and today is going to be another fantastic episode. We're going to be talking about building trust in real estate. And you know how they say real estate without trust cannot work. So today we're going to be talking to someone that is very pivotal in the real estate world, one of the biggest. You cannot talk about real estate without mentioning his name or the impact he has done for not just Nigerian real estate, but real estate in Africa as well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody join me. Let's welcome Dr. Tosin Olatujoye. I hope I got that correctly. And he's the CEO of Zylus Group. He's our guest right here. Welcome. Is it correct?
Yeah.
I tried.
You try.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Really good to have you,
Bye.
on the show today. But quickly, let me just icebreakers. How was your morning? What do you normally do in the morning?
In the morning, exercise first. Then I always like to take my breakfast before leaving the house.
Okay.
So,
And what's your best thing to eat for breakfast?
I do most time oats. Oats fam.
Okay, nice.
Yes, yes.
So, definitely we're going to go into you because I know you have a background from insurance and you're doing real estate. But before we even do that, I want you to tell me, we're talking about building trust in real estate. And over a period of time, your company has done that. When you talk about Zylus, you talk about credibility, you talk about the fact that you say what you can do and you deliver what you say you would deliver. How would you explain the journey? How has it been like for you?
All right. So, real estate in Nigeria is one of the gold mine that is still yet untapped.
Okay.
And when you talk about real estate, you have to match it up with trust.
True.
Because real estate is about trust, because most of the people that buy into real estate products are from diaspora. So majority of them are, let's say about 80 to 85% of people buying into real estate are majorly diaspora. And your level of trust has to be top notch in dealing with them, because if you look at real estate generally, you see that there are a lot of people that are doing all sorts of things just for money's sake. But for us, we make sure that we set our priority rightly, and integrity is one of the key core value we have in our organization. So real estate is about trust. You must have that trust. You must ensure that everything you say, you do it. Do your allocation rightly at the right time, and ensure that you buy good property. Ensure that when you promise people their land, you give them their land.
And over a period of time, we've seen what you've done with your company. We've seen the remarkable, jobs you've done for your company. But I want you to tell me, you're coming from a background of insurance, okay? Is that there's no money in that sector? Why the switch? When did you know you want to do the switch to real estate? What was that thing that prompted you that, I can make it good in real estate?
All right. So, when it comes to insurance is about providing value to people.
Yeah.
So, and I worked in an insurance company for 13 years
Wow.
of my life, and everything I do is providing value to people. But at a point, in life, you want to do your own thing and set up your own thing as time goes on. And, I decided to go further to start a business.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do business that would definitely be giving value to people the same way insurance has been giving value to people.
Yeah.
So I did a SWOT analysis. I get someone to walk me through together on SWOT analysis. And I was able to decide that I'll be going to, running a real estate business. And if we look at it, insurance and real estate is a different thing entirely.
Totally.
So I developed passion for the business, which is real estate.
So when did you develop passion for real estate? What was it? There must be one thing that happened.
So one thing is that I've seen a lot of people saying that I don't have passion for this, I have passion for this. I would just sit down and just be smiling, because I feel that sincerely, passion is not inside of us. Passion is what you develop. So immediately I switched to real estate, I begin to grow passion in real estate. So everything that come my way about real estate, I always like to read about it. I talk to people. I learn a lot from them. And I grew knowledge in the real estate business.
So you learned on the job?
I learned on the job.
Wow. And how you say it has been like for you? For someone that didn't really have a background, you did your research and everything. How would you say it has been like for you handling such a company in a country like Nigeria?
All right. So when we talk about background, we've seen a lot of people that does not, maybe have a particular background in a particular field doing different thing entirely, and they're doing it well.
Well, sure.
Like yesterday, I was listening to news, and I see someone that study on engineering, and the person is into finance. So it's not about your career. It's not about career. It's not about what you have in terms of your certification and all that. It's about you wanting to do something. When you want to achieve anything and your mind is connected to it, definitely you achieve it.
You achieve it.
Yeah.
But still narrowing it down to the fact that we're talking about trust in real estate. Ever since you all are the gurus in real estate, if I would say,
God is a good.
I will say, and we have a lot of young people that are coming up right now. Most people want to do real estate because they've seen that it's very lucrative. You can make money from it, and they do not come in with the values of, I have to, have integrity. People have to trust me. They just get into it for the money aspects. They sign one deal, and we've heard stories of real estate companies that have packed up, because of fraudulent things. As a real estate person, what would you say about this? And also the fact that there's an influx. A lot of people want to do real estate now, but are they doing it the right way? And are they tarnishing the image of those of you that, are doing it upright?
Okay, so for people that are coming into real estate and the people that are still very young in the real estate industry, and I want to say that majority of them come to do the business without probably knowing the full details about it. The only thing they can see is the money, and they are not seeing the other parts of the business, because real estate too is very, very challenging.
Yeah.
You may be doing something right, and the whole thing will just turn to something bad as time goes on. So, but for the fact that you have a mindset of doing the right thing and having integrity in the business, even if you encounter challenges in the business, you know how to manage the situation and still do things rightly. And looking at the entry points to real estate, is very, very minimal for you to come into real estate. But at the same time, the same real estate that is good can actually also destroy you.
Yeah.
If we didn't do it rightly. And it's about your decision. Any decision you take, anything you want to do, you have to ask first, how will this favor my clients? Because in Zylus Group International, our first priority is our subscribers. The second priority is our sales force, before we even talk about ourselves as a company. So in making decision, we'll look at it that how will this decision affect our subscribers, our clients. Then we talk about our sales force, then we talk about ourselves. So it's about who is behind the brand. Some people just want to come into the real estate, take money from people and run away.
Run away. We've seen that thing.
Which is very, very bad. For us, it is not our plan.
The plan.
Yeah.
We've also seen an influx of people that will say that to sell is not easy. So that's why they will just take in any opportunity that they have. And for you, you have closed a lot of deals. Like, I can start mentioning the amount of deals that they have closed.
I'm sure you have all the figures.
Because there are a lot, because they are too much, so I can't even remember. But for somebody like you, that I don't want to say it's easy, because of course there are challenges and all of that, but people find it like it's so difficult to sell. So the moment they have to sell, whether it's good or bad, they are just taking it. Or for you, have you been able to manage with the fact of also closing like really, really mega deals?
All right, so
sales, maintaining trust, like people still trust the Zylus brand.
Yes, everything I do in insurance is sales, and sales is like you are doing something that you like to do.
Yeah.
So for me, sales is part of me. I know for you to make sales, you have to influence people to buy.
Sure.
So you need to understand the techniques. You need to understand the sales strategy that you need to put in place to influence people to buy your product. So what makes me different from you? We may have the same product beside each other, but the strategy I will put in place to sell the product is the knowledge I have that you don't have. So the sales will come in for me, and the sales may not come in for you, and you'll be feeling you're not making sales.
And
So it is that.
as you
It's about strategy. So it depends. I spend more time strategizing than the field work. So when you sit down, you think, you strategize, what can I do to influence people to buy my product? What can I do to influence the sales force to sell the product? So when you put the two together, it's going to be sales for you.
But
So
now
that's-
I like the fact that you mentioned strategy. For you, what would you say has been that key strategy for you? I know that sometimes you may not want to say it because, but what would you say? I know there are a lot, so I just want you to tell me one that you think has been able to sustain not just
Yes,
for the brand as well.
when it comes to strategy is something that does not end.
And true.
It's something you need to start doing. If I should start talking about strategy from the beginning of the business till now, maybe we will not close in this case. So to summarize it, it's just for you to think of something that you can use to influence people's decision to buy from you.
Okay.
And from the sales angle, think of something that you can, use to motivate your sales force to sell the product.
Yeah.
So that's it.
If you were to talk to a young person that wanted to go into real estate and the person is asking for, sorry, I'm drilling him right now. And the person is asking for that one strategy, like you have done it all. What would be that thing that you tell the person? That's someone that wants to go into real estate.
Okay, so in terms of sales, right?
In terms of sales.
So sales will not be difficult if you sell rightly.
Okay.
So the first thing I will say is that buy product rightly. Don't buy products that is not in a good location, because it's possible you want to sell and your product is not in good location.
Strategy.
So it will be hard for you to sell no matter the strategy you put in place. So the first thing is that the strategy to selling will definitely start from you buying a product in a very good location. And in Zylus, we decided one day that we're not going to be buying product inside, because we know what it takes to sell the first product we launched to the markets, Prosperity Garden. I'm sure some people will know the product.
Yeah.
It was really a hard time selling, despite all the talent, all the strategy put in place.
Right.
But when you sell products that you know that it is in a right location, you will sell. Then apart from right location, you also need to ensure that the product you're selling have a good title. I tell people, I don't know if your question will still go there.
No, let's go.
I tell some people that for Lagos that I know very well, there's no free land in Lagos.
Yeah.
But people will still say, my title of my land is freehold. So at the back end, I'll just see that and say, there's no free land in Lagos.
Yeah.
Yes, the land may be free, but does not free that you should start using it. It is free for you to go and perfect your title. So you need to get government involved to ensure that the land is perfected, either through regularization or maybe probably through allocation.
Mm-hmm. And I like the fact that you mentioned government. I didn't mention government. You mentioned government. And I like that fact because we've seen that real estate has also, developed in Nigeria. It has really developed. Like a lot of people are doing it. Government has come.
Still scarces of.
Okay, but like government is now like involved. But would you say that the Nigerian government is really helping, real estate developers as well with, just with their job? Like, are they really helping, or they can do better, or they can do more?
More. Okay, so I want to say, helping is different from your capacity to be able to do something.
Yeah.
So, in terms of helping, you can only help people with what you have. You cannot help people with what you don't have.
True.
So the question is that the demand we're asking the government, does government even have the solution?
That's another.
So the government themselves are trying in their own way to bring solution to the real estate industry.
Yeah.
And I can tell you 100% that have they been able to meet the demand of the people? No. People are still pursuing. People are still looking for more things to be done from government. But in their own way, they are also trying. So I won't say they are not giving out what they need to give out, but we expect them to do more in terms of providing infrastructure for for everybody to enjoy. If there's infrastructure, definitely everywhere we develop and people will make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yes.
But still on government, just my last question on government, people have argued that they are one of the reasons why real estate is even going down, because you see, you build house somewhere, somebody will come from somewhere and say demolish the house and all of that. But do you believe in that?
Okay, so I would say that I'll be indifferent.
Okay.
Because when it comes to government things, you cannot control what is uncontrollable. We don't have the power to control the government.
Yeah.
So will I say that the attitude to the way they are doing it, will I say that the method to the way they are doing it, maybe that can be tricky a bit.
Okay.
But in terms of the government bringing down real estate, I don't know what to say about that, because government is trying to do their own thing. The developers are trying to do their own thing.
Yeah.
So whichever way, definitely we are going to meet at a particular bus stop. So I wouldn't be in a position to say that government is bringing real estate down. But I can also tell you that some things that government is doing at the moment, we only add premium to Lagos as time goes on. But to the people that are being affected, which I am part of it, because
I like the honesty.
Because I am also the real estate developer association of Nigeria Lagos chapter. I'm the treasurer. So, and we have a lot of our members that have been affected. I am also affected. So we are all in it together. But let's see how government goes. We'll end in a particular point.
Yeah. But what would you say is the future of real estate? And I don't want to limit it to Nigeria, in Africa as well. If we continue on this tangentry, what do you think the future will be?
Yes, a lot of people will be afraid to go into real estate if this pattern continues. But the fact is that the real estate business in Africa is still very, very huge.
Yeah.
You can see there are still bushes everywhere now. We have not built the entire place. So a long way to go. So we still have a very vast opportunity that is in real estate in Africa. And I believe one day things will change. A lot of people, you'll be with a lot of people that will say, do you think things can ever change in Nigeria? But I still believe that one day things will change. And we are hopeful that, it comes soon.
Yep. But we cannot talk about this without talking about developers as well. We've heard several stories of developers as well, promising and under-delivering. And they are one of the problems as well, as to how, if we'll say real estate is going down, they are one of the problems, because they promise high, they under-deliver. They start projects, they don't finish. Do you share in these sentiments? And also, what would you want to say about these kind of developers? Because this as well will not bring trust. If people have this perception that, oh, I don't trust developers, so you don't trust them. So what's your take on that?
Okay, so if I'm going to speak from my experience, you agree with me that when it comes to business, there's no template. Somebody is doing business, you want to go into the same business.
Yeah.
Can that person sit you down and give you all the secrets that he has used to set up the business that you want to do, that you want to model? The person will not be willing to do that, because everybody have their inner strategy. Do you understand? So in terms of some of all these people that are doing their things in their own way with their knowledge, I would say it is about what they know. Because nobody wants to start a business and do the business to a level that the business will crash. I've been in a presentation before, and I will ask everybody, how many of you want to run a business and the business will crash in 7 years, in 5 years?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to raise up their hands. So some people that are having those challenges, it depends on their knowledge. So if we can invest, and I love what BRG is doing.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing now is about giving out knowledge to people. So the smart developers that knows that on this section or this program, you always bring in developers to talk about their experience, will be following this page a lot and make sure that you are learning a lot of knowledge from it, because some people meet themselves in that situation.
Exactly.
Not that maybe they want to meet themselves. It may be as a result of the strategy they put in place that they meet themselves in such situation.
Exactly.
So we just pray that there will be more knowledge for developers that are coming up so that I will not end up making mistakes.
And we know for you as well, your company, you're expanding. I know there's microfinance and all of that. I want you to take me through the future of Zylus as well.
Okay, we started about 6 years ago, and immediately we marked 5 years in business. We decided to sit down and look at the future of the business, and that leads us to the fact that we feel when you're doing one particular thing at every point in time, if there's any issues in that particular thing, where do you diversify to? So for us, diversification is about providing more solutions to people to be able to do, but we also need to be very careful in diversifying, because Zylus Group is diversifying to microfinance bank, asset management, insurance, and whatever. They now want to go and do the same thing.
You may flop.
You may have issues.
Yeah.
Because you have to build capacity before expansion. So we use 5 years to build capacity.
Yeah.
And now we diversify. So the process is there, the structure is there. I don't have to be the one to run it.
Yeah.
I have my guys that are CEO on MD of those subsidiaries. They give report regularly.
Exactly. But what would you say to other young people that look up to you? And I like what you just said as well. Like, you cannot want to do something when you've not put in the work and you've not put in time. So people get into this thing, they stay 1 year and they want to do everything that you've done, you're doing. Meanwhile, you've been in it for 6 years and and counting. So what would you like to say to young people that look up to Zylus, look up to you for the amazing works that you've been doing, and they want to get into real estate, but they're just finding it difficult. They don't know where to start from in building trust for people to trust them?
I was with someone yesterday, and we're talking, and I was advising that you have to learn to run your own race. Don't try to run your race based on the fact that another person is doing this.
True.
If you try to do that, you don't know where that person is going.
Yeah.
At the end, if you decide to run the race of that person, if that person fell into
You fall too.
issues, you also fall too. So run your own race in your own capacity, because business is like going on a journey. It's like life also. This life, if you're a Christian anyway, you see that we've always been advised in church that you have to live holy life, because you will need to go to heaven. You have to, don't fornicate, 10 commandments, all these things. They will be saying it. The reason is that everybody wants to make heaven.
True.
I've never seen anybody that wants to go to hell. You understand?
Yeah.
And they say the road to heaven is what?
Narrow. Is it narrow?
It's narrow.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's narrow. Why is it narrow? Because little people will go. And those people that will go, there are some commandments, there are some principles that you have to follow. Then the road to hellfire is what? Is wide. Why is it wide? Because we'll see some people that will be stubborn. That will not want to follow the principle that will take them to heaven.
True.
So they will go that other route, and it will be hellfire.
True.
So business is just like that. When you're starting a business, you must make a decision from the beginning. Am I running this business to stand the test of time? 100 years to come. So that when you are in 5 years, when you are in 1 year, you will not want to try to achieve what you achieve in 20 years in 1 year.
True.
In a situation whereby you are trying to achieve what you're supposed to achieve in 20 years in 1 year, you start having problems.
Exactly.
So you must understand how you run a business to stand the test of time, which in that same scenario, going to heaven.
True.
Or run a business that in the next 4 or 5 years, you just see the business will collapse.
Man.
People will start running after you,
So much intelligence from you.
You want to take us back, diversification, as you mentioned, because I know Zylus has done so well as a group.
Thank you.
And I think I want to talk about your investment scheme, which is the Zylus Cashback. How sustainable has that been, and what is like the long-term goal? Because a lot of people are usually, skeptical when you mention investments, and they've done well. So I just want to know, what's the long-term?
Okay, so basically everything is about your model. Everything is about the structure you put in place. And when it comes to real estate, we came up with an initiative, innovation, about how can people come into real estate without have to buy land. Must I buy land before I can do real estate? Must I buy house before I can do real estate? What about me partnering with an organization that is doing real estate? We both purchase the product and sell to the end users. So the whole idea came from the fact that instead of me to buy land before I do real estate or to buy house before I do real estate, can I partner with you? Let's buy the land together at wholesale price, then we sell to the public at retail price. Do you understand?
Smart, yeah.
So that is the idea around, the products we launch out. And really, we launch the product out, we see a lot of people copy the product and doing it the way
I rather like the master.
doing it the way they like. So we too are now being afraid that how are these people doing this? Even the model that we have put in place, we are still trying to trick it. At the moment, we've gotten an asset management company. Asset management company in the sense that we now have a SEC-regulated subsidiary that is legally binded to take funds from people. So with that, we have a template we're running and we're following the template. But that part you don't know. We too, we hide it because Coca-Cola did the same thing. Nobody knows the secrets of nah.
Just the truth is, because as humans, though, we get overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed sometimes. Ria gets overwhelmed. So how do you now cope? Because you're a developer, there's an investment scheme, there's your personal life. They have to come out by this.
So we only have about 5 subsidiaries under the group. We have Zylus Homes and Property, which is where we started from. And we have a 5-year template we're working with. And we want to create a kind of business that can relate with, each other in one way or the other. So we set up the other brand, which we started from the real estate cashback, and we put a structure in place to that. And that have run for some years now.
Yeah.
Then we set up the other brand, which is the Trustline Capital, which is our asset management company. All these organizations have their board of directors and they have their MDs and their staff running those organizations. So what I do mostly is that I set KPIs at the beginning of the year.
Stress.
And I track the KPIs on a quarterly basis and I get reports of their performance. Do I need to do anything?
Don't need
It's
to.
just reports.
Just doesn't need
Let me just read reports. So when I read reports, if you are not delivering what I wanted, then I fire you, I send you out. I bring another person. So as a businessman, I got interested in, setting up subsidiary because at a particular point, one of the subsidiary paid me as the founder of the business a very huge amount of money.
Career and I come for one plot each.
Eh?
Career and I come for one plot each.
From land.
Yes, now. I like
the way LG from land.
What? Dina?
He's such a businessman. He had to ask you from where.
From land. Are you bad? You bad.
But
I can actually give you a discount if it comes.
Okay. What I wanted to say, thank God I don't take because it's fraudulent. I will take the discount and I will run. Oh no, of course not. I will not do that. But we're on BRG platform. Before I let you go, thank you for telling us a lot because I'm sure that a lot of people watching will definitely understand what it is to be in a business and also build trust in a business. But you're not new, you're family to BRG and you know of how high they've gotten, how far they've gotten. We're bringing people together, networking and all that. What would you like to say to the establishment for the amount of years they've put in and the work that's churning out now?
I would say before we used to say in Africa, but now I would say in the whole world, BRD is number one brokerage firm when it comes to real estate that I've ever seen. Very organized, very structured, and they keep growing on a daily basis. And you see that due to the way they have set up the brand, and there's no time they are not coming up with innovation. And what keep business going is about innovation. If BRD is not doing different things to bring innovation into the BRD group, they won't be where they are today. So I will give kudos to the leaders and also the managers that are running Billionaire Realtors Group fantastic
Amazing.
group.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. But before you go, I just want you to look straight into your camera and just, give words of encouragement, because you have a lot of fans. I don't know if you know, you have a lot of people looking up to you, that you're their role model. So just give them a lot, like, fans out.
All right, so I would like to encourage everybody to keep doing what they're doing. Ensure that you push rightly. Ensure that you do the right thing. Ensure that you put integrity as number one in everything we do. And in terms of, I'm so much particular about decision. Ensure that you take the right decision at every right time. And that will lead you to having a mentor that you can always talk to when it comes to decision making, because there are some decisions that for you to take such decision, you may not even know whichever is right. So your mentor will guide you to know if the decision you are taking is right or not. So my advice for you is just to do good, and let's all make more money for
Make more
ourselves.
money. Okay, so because we love you so much and because you're doing a fantastic job, we have this special gift for you, courtesy BRG, courtesy the Real Talk with BRG. So you can open it. There's a lot of money inside. Just open it and see the money.
There is a billionaire realtors
I
group.
put some dollars in.
I believe there will be dollar.
Did you see? You see it, right? Oh my God, that's a lot. You give me some, right? Okay. All right, guys. So there you have it. We always make sure we treat our guests to the very best. We'll see you next week. Mwah.